gentlemen, welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke, with my beautiful bearded husband over there, Josh, manipulating those controls with his just fingers of magic.
Do you like that? That sound effect? I do sound effects too.
Bless his heart.
Okay.
Oh, man. It is a brisk 30-something degrees here right outside of Dallas, Texas. It had started hailing this morning. Small little hail-sized
That was
pellets.
ice.
Was it ice?
Well, I guess hail is
Yeah, it was-
ice.
yeah.
But I think sleet is probably better.
Yes, sleet. There you go. And like the temperature dropped out of nowhere. That started hitting. I was trying to take the bike to work. I was like, yeah, this isn't happening. So, but it came out of nowhere, and it's cold as hell out there
I know.
today. But I am sitting here behind my desk with my freshly cleaned hands and fingers, dunking a Shell Shock CBD tea bag. This is our CBD tea. This is the citrus blend with 25 milligrams of CBD per tea bag. A tin of this tea runs you only $20. It comes with 12 bags. You can teabag yourself into relaxation. Teabag yourself into a good feel.
Put some tea bags on your eyes.
There you go.
Teabag that face.
It's amazing. It's a cute little container, a little bin here, a little metal bin. Again, $20 for a bag of 12 or a tin of 12 and 25 milligrams of CBD per bag. And this is a citrus blend. We also have lavender chamomile. And then we also, not lavender. Wait.
That's right.
Yeah, it is lavender, yeah. Lavender chamomile and then mint. So we have these amazing options for you to choose from. So if like maybe I had a lady that was on my Facebook last night talking about I can't take the oil, I don't like the texture as well as gummies. I was like, well, we do have the CBD tea. Mm-hmm. So she says you're going to try that out. So we have various alternative methods for you to try to get your CBD fix to help you relax. So today I am doing the citrus blend, and it's not so strong that it's overpowering, and it's not so weak that you actually can't taste it. It's a happy blend in the middle.
Yeah.
So
I've got a good friend of mine Greg, who loves the tea bags.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to get tea bag.
He loves the tea bags.
Yeah.
He loves it on. Yeah.
He raves on about them.
He does. That's good. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. So we've got that going on, and we appreciate your love and support. Oh man, it is just I'm still just in a really kind of tranquil mood from the shrooms. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It is. I just wish they would legalize it. It needs to be legalized. It's insane that they don't.
You know what is legal? Our Delta 9 gummies.
Our Delta 9 gummies
I'll
and
tell you
Delta
what.
8 gummies as well. So you can check them out. So if you have Delta 8 banned in your state, check out our Delta 9.
Yeah.
Delta 9 probably is not banned, and it mirrors the effects of Delta 8. So you can check that out. Again, that is shellshockcbd.com. Code Burke will save you 10%. We appreciate all your love. And thanks for all the subs and bits on Twitch. I appreciate it. We had a lot of big donations yesterday on the stream. Thank you for that. I'm sorry I couldn't acknowledge it. I was kind of in my zone. I didn't want to get sidetracked. But thank you very much to my Twitch family. You guys are fucking incredible. I appreciate your love and support, man. All right. Let's get into this day in history, and then we got a lot of news to cover. There's just Russia's going, it's escalating even more. Sanctions are starting to push back. Biden is now talking about banning Russian oil and then saying that we're going to pay at the gas. It's getting ridiculous. So, but all right, let's get started with this day in history. February Revolution begins, leading to the end of the Tsarist rule in Russia. In Russia, the February Revolution, known as such because of Russia's use of the Julian calendar, begins when riots and strikes over the scarcity of food erupt in Petrograd. 1 week later, centuries of Tsarist rule in Russia ended with the abdication of Nicholas II, and Russia took a dramatic step closer towards communist revolution. By 1917, most Russians had lost faith in the leadership ability of the Tsarist regime. Government corruption was rampant, and the Russian economy remained backward. And Nicholas repeatedly dissolved the Duma, the Russian parliament established after the revolution of 1905, when it opposed his will. However, the immediate cause of the February Revolution, the first phase of the Russian Revolution of 1917, was Russia's disastrous involvement in World War I. Militarily, Imperial Russia was no match for industrialized Germany, and Russian casualties were greater than those sustained by any nation in any previous war. Meanwhile, the economy was hopelessly disrupted by the costly war effort, and moderates joined Russian radical elements in calling for the overthrow of the Tsar. On March 8th of 1917, demonstrators clamored for bread took to the streets in the Russian capital of Petrograd, now known as St. Petersburg, supported by 90,000 men and women on strike. The protesters clashed with police but refused to leave the streets. On March 10th, the strike spread among all of Petrograd's workers, and irate mobs of workers destroyed police stations, several factories, elected deputies to the Petrograd Soviet or Council of Workers' Committees, following the model devised during the Revolution of 1905. On March 11th, the troops of Petrograd and army garrison were called out to quell the uprising. In some encounters, regiments opened fire, killing demonstrators, but the protesters kept to the streets, and the troops began to waver. That day, Nicholas again dissolved the Duma. On March 12th, the revolution triumphed when regiment after regiment of Petrograd garrison defected to the cause of the demonstrators. The soldiers, some 150,000 men, subsequently formed committees that elected deputies to the Petrograd Soviet. That is this day in history.
It's great. Good stuff.
Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. World history. It's kind of interesting to see how it would happen now. Like if this same thing could occur now with, it feels to me that a lot of Russian civilians don't want this war with Ukraine. There's been so many protesters locked up, and it feels like the Russian populace is against Putin on this one.
Yeah, it really does.
It does feel that way.
A lot of people against Putin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope they. I'm over it. I'm just. It's insanity.
What are you supposed to do?
Exactly. I mean, this is one of those things that we can't do anything. We just watch it happen, and ultimately Americans are going to pay at the pump.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Now, this is what's so crazy about this. Our first article, Biden announces ban on U.S. imports of Russian oil, gas, live updates. President Joe Biden said Tuesday the decision for the U.S. to ban Russian gas and oil imports is going to cause soaring domestic gas prices to rise even further, but added that he is going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home.
Like, this guy's such a jackass.
He's an idiot. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're saying that you're banning Russian oil, and also, by the way, Russia is also threatening Germany to turn off all oil, all energy, which this is the position that Germany has put itself in. Now Russia's got him by the short hairs, and Trump even warned him against this.
Everything that he said in his speech, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, is happening right now. It's like if Biden gets in the White House, you're going to be saying $7, $8, $9 at the.
It's getting bad.
Not too far away.
Diesel is just through the roof. I feel, dude, the trucking
Gasoline
industry
in general is through the roof.
Yeah, but think about this though. Even diesel in general, like diesel in some places, it's like $8-9 a gallon. What's that going to do to the trucking industry? Like I'm trying to, like, in my mind work through, okay, if gas prices rise, they're going to have to essentially rise cost of their services, and ultimately the consumer is going to foot the bill for this again.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here like, this is insanity.
Well, according to Biden, you should just not raise your prices.
Yeah, Psaki, Jen Psaki is like, yeah, why are you raising your price? Because, again, inflation. And inflation continues to rise too, ladies and gentlemen. It's still going up.
Oh, crazy bitch.
Inflation's going up, and Biden's polling is going down. There is we're not even through year 2 yet.
Not even close to it.
Not even close to it. I keep getting these questions like, do you think we'll survive 4 years of Biden?
I don't know.
I'm just like, bro, we will. We have no choice, but I'm not sure what's going to happen as a result. Like,
I'll tell you, at the end of 4 years, we're probably going to have a lot more farmers, that's for sure.
Dude,
grow your own damn food.
At this point, it's just like if we elect another Democrat into office, then we as a country are just so fucking backwards. We're so stupid.
I'm going to trade my dog in for like 8 chickens.
Oh, my God.
Produce
oh
eggs.
My God. Biden comes out and says that, and then oil prices jump on report. U.S. will ban Russian oil and natural gas imports. Oil prices jumped higher on Tuesday morning after news organizations reported that Biden administration is poised to ban U.S. imports of Russian energy. This is also, and here's the crazy thing. He does not have a deal worked out with any other country yet. He's meeting with Venezuela in secret. He's meeting with Saudi.
Venezuela?
Yeah, I know. Dude, I'm just sitting here. It's like, you're about to ban Russian oil, which you know is going to jack up the prices, but you have not outsourced, and I don't even agree with that. We should, here, drill, baby, drill.
Yeah.
Let's go local. Let's go here. We're energy independent. Let's go back to what we were. But instead, he's trying to outsource. Like, dude, the corruption it's palpable. There is no denying it at this point. Why else? Why else would you want to negotiate with a foreign power that we know in the purchasing of their oil is going to fund units like Hezbollah and these terrorist organizations? Like, Have we not learned our lesson yet? This is insanity.
I know.
Like I can't fathom this. But this is what Democrats do, because they say that it's mainly at the nucleus of this. It's for green energy. We want America to be less pollutant. We're just buying it and importing it. We're still doing it.
I know.
This doesn't change anything.
It changes nothing except who's getting paid on the back end.
It's the stupid hippies here out there spouting green peace and shit. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. I get that you don't want to pollute, but Jesus, like, what do you expect the world to do? Which, by the way, even the White House.
Full of shit.
Oh, I think they're all full of shit. They're corrupted.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that the Biden administration, there's not going to be people getting like some serious paychecks for this.
You see Jen Psaki walk in with like a big gold chain.
Oh my God. I could see that.
Diamond studded Rolex.
She'll be like Liberace. She's like, you like it? You bought it for me.
It's the best deal for us.
Yeah, it's the best deal. Like, how else am I going to send my children to Harvard? Good grief.
Pulls up in her Lamborghini.
But it's crazy to me because the out of touch elites in this country, like Psaki gets up there and starts talking about purchasing electric vehicles, which I think a lot of people are going to do. It makes sense to me. That's why I did it like over 6 months ago, because I was like, I got a feeling. And here I am. But also, that's not your common average American can afford a $50,000 to $60,000 Tesla. They can't.
What is your electric bill?
It only went up like $40 a month.
That's not bad at all.
No, it's like a tank of gas.
So how long does it take you to charge a car?
Oh, geez, like 3 hours.
It's not too bad. But you can go like 300 miles, right?
Yeah. I go to 300 miles. I can go home. I plug it in. It charges back up to like 300 miles. And yeah, I can't take it on. I mean, I can take it on long distance trips. I mean, there's charging ports everywhere. It's just that the charging port, like, do you want to say it's a supercharger? So it takes like 20 to 30 minutes to get it a full charge. It's like, do you feel like sitting there for 20, 30 minutes on your trip? It's like, ugh, probably not.
It's not terrible.
It's not.
I mean, 300 miles. To go 300 miles?
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Yeah. I get it.
I mean,
but
after 300 miles, you probably want to pull over anyway.
Yeah, true. But the point still stands that your common American doesn't want to do this. And I support that. It's like, yeah, if you don't want to get an electric vehicle, I totally get it. It makes sense to me. But a lot of people are going to start pushing more hybrid. I know you have a hybrid as well.
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah.
I mean, I get like 330 miles to a tank, but
that's awesome.
Like 13 miles when on a full. It's not great, but
yeah. Well, you got Psaki out there saying that instead of like, when prices are like rising, she's like, go have a margarita. It's like, hey, we're paying outlandish prices at the pump. Go buy an electric vehicle. It's like, why don't you just stop fucking up our economy? We don't have to do this. I mean, has anybody really considered that?
Yeah, try a little fentanyl.
But then you got people like Stephen Colbert. And again, this guy is the biggest clown. Like, the older this Gen X guy, it's like, I cannot stand them. Just so out of touch and inconsiderate. Listen to what this idiot has to say. Late night talk show, Stephen Colbert said he is willing to pay $15 a gallon for gas because he drives a Tesla during a Monday episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Since the invasion, oil prices have skyrocketed. Today, the average gas price in America hit an all-time record high of over $4 per gallon. Okay, that stings, but a clear conscience is worth a buck or two. Stephen. Most families in America, the majority of families are living paycheck to paycheck. They budget out a certain amount from like $150 to $200 a month for gas. It's not just an extra buck or two. We are soaring past average gas right now is at an all-time high. On average, is over $4 a gallon. Normal gas prices when Trump was in office was $1.80.
Yeah, he was right. It is like a tax cut when gas prices are low. Because even when Obama was in office, the gas prices were crazy high.
Yep.
I mean, it kept creeping up and creeping. That's why I think they're making the gas prices so high now is because they lost out on all that money when Trump was in office. That's my personal opinion.
It's a distinct possibility. I mean, it wouldn't shock me.
They were on the rise, and as soon as Trump gets in, he's like, yeah, it's no problem. We can get the gas prices low. You talk to OPEC, you do this, and then next thing you know, gas is back under $2 a gallon.
Yeah.
I'm like, how'd that happen?
Well, people keep talking about how like the rising gas prices, that has to do with OPEC. It's like, it's not just OPEC.
I don't know what it is. Whatever Trump did, it fucking worked.
It's the fact that we were drilling at home and our prices were just way more affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, OPEC does play a role into it, but it's also saying like Biden's temporary fix when we talked about the State of the Union. Hey, I'm releasing 60 million barrels. Cool. But again, look at the prices.
Through the weekend.
I mean, that's the other part. It's like, look, I remember when he said it. It was like last week. He said he's going to release 60 million barrels of oil. Has that done anything to gas prices? No, it has not.
It went up.
It went up. It's done nothing.
Every time you go to put gas in your car, it's a little bit more expensive.
Like, what does America go through barrels of oil per day on average across America? Because is 60 million barrels really going to do anything? Because it sounds like a lot. But the average consumption of barrels of oil in America, I'd be very interested. Josh is looking this up for me. Yeah. I'd be very interested in knowing what that actually is. Because it's like, hey, I'm going to put this like piece of gum on this little crack on the Hoover Dam. It's like, that's not going to do anything, bro. That's not going to, it sounds good. It appeases the people. But it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't think that's really going to do that much of a dent. We got to have like a long-term plan here. This isn't it.
2020 was like 17,177 barrels a day.
A day? Yeah.
That was December 2020.
That ain't going to last.
So that's like 3 days.
Yeah.
So
well,
literally,
more than that.
It's literally a week. If you're going, he said 60,000.
Was it 60,000 or 60 million?
It's not 60 million.
No, it's got to be 60,000.
Yeah, I think he said 60,000.
Okay, 60. So. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that ain't. No, it can't be 60,000. That would be like, even I'd be like, dude, that ain't.
Is that what he said?
Shit. I have to go back and look. I have to go back and look.
I think you're right. I think it was 60,000.
Was it 60,000? That's not going to change anything. It was 60 million. Yeah, it was 60 million. Are you sure? Yeah, the chat's confirming. It was 60 million. But even still, we're going to go through that in the span of like, what, a month-ish? Probably a little bit longer. That's still not going to stop this. It's not going to stop it. I don't get why he didn't just put the kibosh on Russian oil to begin with. Because it wasn't that he didn't have somebody else to outsource it to, because he still doesn't. Now he's doing it. I just, dude, I'm all over the place right now. I do not understand this administration. It's like sitting there trying to like figure out, okay, what's the strategy from the White House right now? I can't put my finger on it because it's just like, this doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Colbert said, I'm willing to pay, or he said, okay, that stings, but a clear conscience is worth $1 or $2. Colbert said, I'm willing to pay $4 a gallon. Hell, I'll pay $15 a gallon because I drive a Tesla. Colbert joked about the U.S. reported plan to ban imports of Russian oil, saying he will instead purchase it from the good guys, Saudi Arabia. Take that, Putin. We're not going to buy our gas from a war criminal, Colbert said. We're going to buy it from the good guys in Saudi Arabia. I think he's joking there. After Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the West Texas Intermediate crude oil futures exceed $130 per barrel for the first time since 2008. The Democrat in office, late Sundays. The average price of gasoline hit $4.17 a gallon Saturday, according to AAA. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken told NBC News Sunday that the U.S. is having very active discussions on potentially banning imports of Russian oil. Democratic West Virginia Joe Manchin, who serves as the chairman of the State Energy and Natural Resources Committee, introduced the Banning of Russian Imports Act on Thursday, and it received bipartisan support from over a dozen members of Congress. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, President Joe Biden's administration revoking the Keystone Pipeline and halting federal leases to oil and gas companies is not contributing to the rising costs of gas, nor will reversing the policies resolve the issue during Monday's press briefing. I want to read that for you guys again, this time slowly. Listen to what they are telling you, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to what the experts are telling you. Jen Psaki said President Joe Biden's administration revoking the Keystone Pipeline and halting federal leases to oil and gas companies is not contributing to the rising costs of gas. Yes, it is. You cancel the Keystone, prices started shooting up. Then Psaki says, well, if these companies want to drill for oil, they can drill. No, I want to hit her. I want to hit her so bad. I hate these people. I hate them.
Punch her right in that ugly face.
Jesus, these people are liars. They are pathological liars. Yeah. She literally said nothing stopping these companies from drilling, and then says, Biden's halting federal leases to oil and gas companies is not contributing to the rising cost. Yes, it is. But you're also, aside from that, you're lying. You're saying that these companies can go drill if they want to. No, they can't. You're banning them. The Biden administration is saying no. So you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. I think Elizabeth Warren could probably help you with that. Speak with forked tongue. I mean, Jesus. Like, I cannot even understand why we would ever vote Biden again or vote Democrat again.
Oh, God.
You see what Democrats are doing by and large. You see the rampant just sexuality just pouring into our society of these people like Biden's pick of the nuclear waste guy, just a freak. You see them trying to sexualize children and push and usher into this gender bullshit into schools. Now there's this bill they're talking about, the Don't Say Gay bill, and there's nothing to do with that.
God, even the dead people who voted Democrat are regretting their vote 100%, at this point.
Yeah, they're probably rolling in their graves. Like, I didn't vote for this, but fuck, I really didn't want to vote for this.
Oh, God.
I'm just sitting here sipping my shell-shock tea. She also argued that the U.S. has produced more oil in the past year than in former President Donald Trump's first year in office. What the fuck does that matter? You're just trying to do a whataboutism. I don't give a shit if you did or you do, because the gas prices reflect. Maybe, okay, we're producing more oil, but we're still paying more. That doesn't even make sense. How are we producing more and we're paying for more? These people, like, ladies and gentlemen, look, it's you. It is you, the listener, you, the taxpayer, that they think you are genuinely stupid. They think this. Why else would they sit there and blatantly lie to our faces and then expect us to just, oh, well, I'm going to trust them. I'm going to trust them. Why would they lie? Why would they lie? I would easily tell you, we produce more. Okay, cool, but why are we paying more? If we produce more, we should be paying less. Clearly, that's not the case. So you're lying.
Look, you hate terrorism, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we got to pay more at the pump.
Absolutely, yeah. I've got a clear conscience. Stephen Colbert, war expert, rich elite, millionaire. I'm willing to pay more for a clean conscience or a clear conscience.
I know.
You're the same dude who did the vaccine scene shit. These idiots, dude.
Didn't he do an abortion dance too?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, oh my God, these people. So I don't want to share a country with these pieces of shit. These scumbags, these disgusting, immoral, just horrendous human beings. Like, you have no soul. Like, you people are just. I honestly don't understand how you sleep at night. Like, I really mean that. Like, I don't understand how you sleep at night.
Maybe in a coffin.
Like yeah, vampires. I could see that. Russia threatens Europe's Russian gas addiction under pressure as Kremlin threatens to cut supply. They knew this was going to happen. Putin would be stupid not to. If essentially he's waging a proxy war against NATO via Ukraine, and United Nations and America are feeding Ukrainians money and weapons, Putin's going to be like, all right, I'm just going to cut your oil and energy. What are you going to do now? And this is not me supporting or going. It's saying this is the ramifications of what happens when you get involved in something like this. Mm-hmm. He's going to freaking shut off their power. What are you going to do then? It's your own fault for putting yourself on like energy dependent on Russia. Now people can wake up and start to realize once it hits their pocketbooks, we should be pushing for energy independence.
Oh, we had it.
We had it.
About 25 minutes ago.
Under Trump. Hey, no mean tweets though, right? Right? Democrats, that's what... Hey, forget everything else. That's what you were concerned with. As long as there's no mean tweets.
I love seeing big empty gaps at the grocery store.
Yeah, seeing my shelves just empty. This is great.
Go buy some saltine crackers
Pete
yesterday.
Buttigieg over there as transportation. He was fucking it all up. Like we have given this country over to the freshmen. Like, what the hell?
I don't know, man. I think
we give it to the idiots to run.
They just like took it.
The inmates are running the asylum at this point.
That's exactly what's going on.
The inmates are running the asylum at this point. And all we can do is sit here and, dude, to keep me from blowing my fucking brains out, we got to laugh. We just got to laugh at it all. It's like, this is insane. It's not going to be forever. Midterms coming. Here's the thing. Like, here's the light at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen. Midterms are coming. They're right around the corner. I'm praying that we can actually take back Congress. If we take back Congress, Biden gets halted. A lot of his shit Biden's doing is getting halted. That's exactly what we need. That's the step. That's probably the most important step we have to take first, is winning back seats. That's going to change a lot of what's going on. That's going to change a lot of it. And then come 2024, we can get Biden out of there. But fuck me running.
Can't come fast enough.
It can't. God. It really can't. European nations face a majority energy crisis after Moscow said imposing sanctions on Russian oil would see them cutting off Russia's gas to the continent in retaliation, a potential disaster for several EU states. Europe's addiction to Russian energy has come back to bite the continent, with a number of nations now scrambling for alternatives as the Kremlin threatens to block gas exports over sanctions levied against the country. Now, here's the thing. If the UN and EU, if they didn't see this coming and didn't already prepare, your leaders are idiots. You should have been proactive prior to this, as far as like weaning yourself off their energy. You should have known. You should have known. But I guarantee they probably didn't. But here's the other part. And here's where the whole business aspect comes into play. The world knows that Biden is going to ban Russian oil. There is no way he can continue having Russian oil bought in America, and the American people will be cool with it. So these other places he's going to, Venezuela, Saudi, what do you think they're going to do with their oil prices? You think they're going to? Do you think they're going to give us a deal?
Raised or lowered?
They're not going to give us a deal. Yeah. So Biden is probably going to broker a deal with one of these other foreign countries. Prices will drop a little bit, and he'll declare that a victory. Hey guys, you're not paying $4, but hey, $3.50 isn't bad. You know, I brought it down. You increased it. You helped increase it. Are you kidding me? I guarantee that's what he's going to do. He did it in the State of the Union, how he basically chalked himself up as the hero. Hey, man, I'm leading the way in the United Nations, putting sanctions, man. Come on. We're going to sanction their ice cream. Russians love ice cream. Why don't we just ban that, you know? I'm at a loss.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Who's listening to him? Who's, honestly, besides the mainstream media, who's sitting around me like, this guy gets it. Joe's got it.
Joe's got it.
He's got his finger on the pulse of the world.
Exactly. Europe's addiction to Russian energy has come back to bite the continent. Okay, a new wave of Russian aggression in Ukraine in recent weeks has seen the country hit with international sanctions, and some partners, including the United States, are now pushing for stronger measures to be introduced, including an embargo on Russian oil imports. So I'm going to say we should have done this from the get-go. And I understand that you want to escalate your sanctions to basically say, look, as time goes on, it's going to get worse. If this was such a serious issue, like Biden and the rest of the world is claiming it is, why didn't you just slam these motherfuckers from the get-go? Like, nah, I ain't playing with you. Like, I'm hitting you now. Like, we're isolating you economically from the get-go. Boom, shut it down.
Do you honestly think that nobody knew that Russia was going to invade Ukraine? I mean, they talked about it for, weeks out in the open about it. So you would have to assume that there was some sort of intelligence that was telling the United States and some of the other countries that, hey, we think Russia's going to try to invade Ukraine. Let's try to stop them right now.
I have no idea. I would assume.
You would think so, right?
Yeah, you would want to, but at the same token, like our intelligence community has just been dropping the ball left and right.
Have they been dropping the ball, or are they just
we
just don't care? Are they complicit in what's going on?
That's the other part. Like, I don't know, because then it goes into what people are going to call conspiracy theorism. But I think
don't know if it's a conspiracy.
No, I'm saying I agree with you. I think there's way more to this than meets the eye that we're just not aware of as the populace, the civilian populace. I think that this administration is so corrupted.
Yeah, you can't tell me that nobody knew that Russia was going to try to go into the they were talking about openly saying this is the date that Russia is going to try to go in and.
Who was talking about that?
Everybody, the mainstream media. They said Russia's going to invade Ukraine on this date.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about right prior to the. Oh, yeah. I thought you meant months ago.
I am talking about months ago that somebody had to have known that what was going to go on. Like, they could have stopped this at some point. Like, I don't know, months ago.
I don't know.
Before it even took off. That's what I think.
I would love to give them the benefit of the doubt, bro, but at this point, I have no idea.
No, they get no benefit of the doubt.
This administration is a clusterfuckery of just insanity.
Biden's been in here, 600 years?
30-something years in Congress.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe now people can start waking up to get these people that have career politics, get them out.
Get them out.
Get them out. I understand Dan Crenshaw's point about you have these senior political leaders that know how to play the game. But, dude, at some point, it's just like these senior leaders are what's destroying this country.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So, I don't know.
These career politicians.
Moscow hit back against the West, taking on its energy industry, however, saying that it is willing to halt the export of gas to Europe should an oil ban be implemented. Putin will do it. And then Europe is going to feel the mighty blow of the dollar or the euro. And they're going to be facing what we're facing now, but even worse, which they already are. For decades, Russia has been today Europe consumes around 500 billion cubic meters of gas per year, and 40% of this comes from Russia. 40% of this comes from Russia. 40% of this comes from Russia. Russian news agencies Interfax reports the country's deputy prime minister, Alex Novak, is saying, for decades, Russia has been a reliable partner no matter what, the deputy PM continued, claiming complaints about Russia renewing its invasion of Ukraine were unfounded accusations, Novak said. We have every right to retaliate and impose an embargo on the gas pump via Nord Stream 1, which today is filled up 100%. With Russia now invading Ukraine's this is from Breitbart London. With Russia now having invaded Ukraine, Germany is caught in an awkward position where 55% of its gas imports, as well as large minority of its coal and oil imports, come from a country it is currently implementing heavy sanctions on. Now, Germany and Europe, or Germany and Europe more broadly, would see their massive dependence on Russian energy imports become a problem for them was far more unforeseen. Indeed, former U.S. President Donald Trump was absolutely clear that Germany continued to enhance its energy imports from Russia with Nord Stream 2 was a serious problem for NATO that needed addressing. His comments that Germany should shape up and lessen its dependence on Russian oil were attacked at the Times as weakening NATO. Fuck NATO. I saw Austin Peterson share this really cool meme. It's kind of like, dude, fuck Putin, man. It said, yeah, what about NATO? It's like, fuck NATO too. His comments that Germany should shape up unless it's dependent on Russia were attacked at the time as weakening NATO. Other leaders have hit the same criticisms, including UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko. Johnson has been particularly active in this regard, calling on both the U.S. and Canada to increase its fossil fuel production to relieve pressure on supplies, which, despite the... Here's the other thing. Crazy idea here. Crazy idea. What if America steps up? We have the capabilities of being a big exporter of oil right now. Why not broker deals with Europe saying, we'll do it. We'll fill Russia's gap. I know it's going to be harder due to the fact that we have a body of water between us. But what if we brokered a deal that America Trump could easily do something like that?
Oh.
You think what if we did that? We have again, here in Texas alone, we have enough oil to fuel America for over 50 years. That's just in Texas. What if we actually made America rich? What if we were able to negotiate these deals? It's possible.
I think we can.
We probably could. What's stopping us?
I'm pretty sure we can. What's stopping us?
Like, hey, UN, you're
crooked politicians.
Hey, if they cut off your oil to freaking Germany, we got you. Whatever Saudi, if you want to go purchase from Saudi, they're going to fund terrorists. Venezuela, same. America, we'll cut you a deal. I'm just saying, wouldn't that...
Seems easy enough.
You would think.
You would, wouldn't you?
Broker a deal with them. America doesn't have to be a primary consumer. We can export. I mean, fuck, Trump sold... Trump sold...
I feel like we were.
Huh?
I feel like we were.
At one point, I thought we were.
Yeah.
Trump sold fucking rice to China. That was impressive. I remember when that happened. It was year 2 of his presidency. It was like, damn, that's impressive because he was trying to help out the farmers.
Yeah.
Because he levied hardcore freaking tariffs on China.
Yep. And all those people saying tariffs don't work. They were working.
Oh, yeah. They were freaking putting economic pressure on China.
Yep.
Johnson has also greenlit new oil and gas projects in Britain's North Sea, with the PM saying that the UK was looking to boost domestic production. These policies resemble major U-turns given just last year. New drilling in North Sea was being blocked by the government so it could pursue Boris Johnson's net zero green agenda. Wow. You guys, man, these net zero green agenda types, your AOC squad morons, you suddenly really flip. You flip so quickly. That's funny. If you are serious about green energy, when the prices start going up, it's like, okay, well, now we're going to drill. It's like, so then you weren't really about green energy. You were just about virtue signaling, about how much good of a human being you were. This is stupid. This is so stupid. Perhaps fulfilling Trump's prophecy that a Germany beholden to Russia gas would be NATO's weak link, Berlin is pushing back against U.S. plans to sanction Russian energy, apparently trying to keep the pipes open. So Germany is actively working against the U.S. from sanctioning Russian oil. Because if we do, it's going to hurt, it's going to cripple. And here's the crazy part. Germany, you got us into this. NATO, you got us into this.
Fucking crowds.
And now they're saying, hey, don't do that, America, because it's going to make us pay more.
Yeah.
We're already paying Ukraine billions in aid because of this bullshit that the EU has been bullying Russia for so fucking long. Mm-hmm. Are people starting to wake up now and understand that NATO is costing us a lot of money? Fuck NATO, dude. Fuck this. This is ridiculous. I understand the concept, how when you have more good guys on one side, but these motherfuckers are costing us billions. They get into these conflicts and then turn around and say, well, you can't sanction Russia because if you do that, they're going to make us pay for it. Well, you're making us pay by getting involved in this bullshit. I'm to the point now, it's like, what the fuck do we need NATO for? You're pulling us into a war.
Yeah, I don't think we need to be in it.
I'm so tired of it. I'm so fucking tired.
There's so much corruption across the board.
It's ridiculous. It's the rich elites, man.
Yep.
This tea is helping. Europe's deliberately exempting Russian energy exports. You are sanctioning Russia on stuff that does hurt them, don't get me wrong. But if you want to hit them in the heart, it's the oil. If you really want to put the dagger in the heart, it's literally going to be sanction the oil, and then it's a Mexican standoff. Like in the old Wild Wild West, Mexican standoff. Who's going to blink first? Russia can say, all right, we're going to turn off your energy. All right. But now you're like, your economy is not just destroyed. You're done. Mm-hmm. Like your country is going to go bankrupt. And that's when your government's going to be overthrown. The people will take charge. I guarantee it. But to prevent this from happening, from Europeans from paying more at the pump, which they already do, they're telling America, oh, don't do this. Don't sanction Russian oil. And then Poland comes out, and you're going to love this. Poland comes out. This was a breaking news story that I saw on Twitter, and this was just so fucking hilarious to me. Poland comes out and says, Poland is willing to give MiG-29 fighter planes to Ukraine, but wants a guarantee from the White House that it will provide U.S.-made fighter jets to fill the gap in their fleet. Then you're basically saying, we'll give them our used Corolla if you'll give us a Lamborghini. Suck my dick, Poland. Suck my fucking dick. And Biden's stupid enough to where he'll do it.
Yeah, they asked the right person. He's like, oh, yes. I'm going to do this.
I can't believe they have the audacity. The Polish have the audacity to say, we'll send the planes. We'll send a MiG-29s, older models.
Yeah.
But we need American play. Like, I'm sorry. Again, when did America become the bank of the world when it comes to military technology, military armament? I'm like just like, go fuck yourself. Then here's the thing, Poland. Don't send your planes then. I'm sorry. We are not. Watching this shit unfold, dude, we are being run by kindergartners. Our administration is nothing but children.
Yeah, I don't know. Children would have a conscience, I think. These people are just like,
oh my God. I'm
worthless.
Floored that Poland would even have the audacity to ask that. Okay, we'll give up these old, antiquated planes to support the cause. Wouldn't it just be better if we just gave those planes directly to Ukraine? Why even go through Poland? Fuck Poland. Are you starting to see now why I'm an isolationist? We get taken advantage of. And that's your money. That's your money, America. Fuck these other countries. What are you doing for us? And that's what I loved about Trump. Trump would actually put his foot down and say, no, absolutely not. He pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord.
Yeah.
We pay into that just so much. It's worthless. It's fucking pointless. An obscene
amount of money.
Yeah. This is why these same politicians can't balance the budget.
No, it's other people's money. They're like, oh, sure, no problem. Here's
I'm just over
how
this
much
shit.
You need, 50 billion, 100 billion? There you go. Let me get the American checkbook.
Yeah. I mean, what do they care? It's not their money. The government's, Milton Friedman told me, the government's very good at spending other people's money.
Oh,
they're wonderful at it.
The best.
September 11th, accomplice leaves Guantanamo Bay, sent home to Saudi Arabia. Well, isn't that interesting, right? When Biden's meeting with Saudi Arabia. Now, normally you say, John, that could just be a coincidence. This is true. But listen to what this dude did. It's not a coincidence. President Joe Biden's Department of Defense released Mohammed Mani Ahmed al-Qatani back into the arms of Saudi Arabia after nearly 20 years in prison for his involvement in the September 11th terrorist attacks that killed over 3,000 Americans. Dubbed the 20th hijacker from September 11th, al-Qatani was transferred out of Guantanamo Bay this week after a review board determined last year that he did not present a current national security threat. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? You just released a terrorist that killed over 3,000 Americans because he's not deemed as a threat. Oh, my fuck. This guy should have been executed. You should have taken him out in front of a berm, put a bullet in his head, and then let pigs desecrate his corpse. You're kidding me with this.
It's amazing anytime someone in the Obama administration gets in the office, they go to the Guantanamo Bay and start letting terrorists go.
The United States appreciates the willingness of Saudi Arabia and other partners to support ongoing U.S. efforts towards a deliberate and thorough process focused on responsibility, reducing the detainee population, and ultimately closing of the Guantanamo Bay facility, the Defense Department said in a statement. So in order to close Guantanamo, you're going to release these terrorists back. Dude, it gets better. Hold on, folks. It gets better. No, don't forget. They said they don't think he poses a national security threat. It gets better. Mohammed has allegedly suffered from schizophrenia since a young age, according to Shaina Kidal, senior managing attorney of the Guantanamo Project at the Center for Constitutional Rights, with witnesses testifying to have seen him talking to himself and hearing voices. In a statement from February, the Center for Constitutional Rights said that an independent psychiatric expert examined Al-Qadi at Guantanamo and confirmed the diagnosis of schizophrenia in 2016, and the military's own doctors unanimously agreed with that conclusion. Former Bush administration official Susan Crawford declined to recommend that Al-Qadi be prosecuted in 2009, charging that his treatment in prison met the legal definition of torture. This is why I did not refer the case, Crawford told the Washington Post. You've got a guy that was involved in the 9/11 attacks, killing over 3,000 Americans, men, women, children, killed them all. And you cut him loose after 20 years because he's a schizophrenic and does not pose a national security threat. We have incompetent idiots running this country. And oh my God, the only way to figure, dude, I'm lucky I still feel the shrooms because honestly, I'd be having an aneurysm right now. I am beyond appalled at this administration.
That's what that CBDT is good for.
And the CBDT is definitely helped. I'm not going to lie. That definitely is. I do feel a lot better, to tell you the truth. I'm just... Why was it... Here's an idea. If you are so concerned about population control in Gitmo, and you have people like this, 20 years in prison, here's an idea. Kill him. Makes sense to me. I mean,
yeah.
Take a 45, side of the temple, or under the freaking mouth, and paint the fucking sky with that dude's brains. Then he's not going to hear voices anymore, so you're killing two birds with one stone. No pun intended. I'm at a loss. This is the Biden administration. Democrats, this is what you voted for. This is what you voted for.
All 800 million of you.
This is what you voted for, folks. I got to post this on my Instagram after the show because people need to see this.
All 865 million of you who voted for him.
I am just...
There was clearly no fraud. He got in there fair and square.
Oh, my God. What do you say to something like this? Especially in the veteran community that fought these pieces of shit overseas. Like, what do you say to this?
Slap in the face.
It is. It's a massive slap in the face.
And a kick in the balls.
I'm at a loss, honestly.
I know. It's
I hate these people.
What country are you rooting for?
Yeah, exactly. Like, whose side are you on?
And probably sent him on his way with little walking around money.
I wouldn't doubt it. They do it for illegals at our southern border. Kamala Harris attacks truckers for pollution as People's Convoy protesters hit D.C. Okay, so I do have to ask. I'm going to ask a question that I've been kind of thinking. It's just like, I'm not against the trucker convoy doing their thing, but what's the point of this?
The trucker convoy?
Yeah. What is they're trying to do? I understand originally, like the Canadian one was to lift all the mandates, but what is it that they're protesting now? Because I know they lifted the mask mandates in D.C., and in states, individual states, like I'm confused on this one. I'm not knocking them. I'm not talking shit about it. I think it's their right to protest. Do your thing. I get it. But I'm trying to figure out what is the intent behind this? What are you trying to If something comes out of it that's good, that's wonderful.
I think
but I'm
it's
trying
the
to
same
understand
thing
this.
of the mandates and all that shit.
It's the mandates, but it's like what mandates specifically? Because I feel like
mass mandates.
But like, why wouldn't you do that
vaccine
against your own?
mandates.
Like, say for example, like California. Like, if California is imposing all these strict, ridiculous, it would then like, why not just lock down California's capital and then go from state to state? I know that's a lot. I mean, that's actually outlandish too. But I mean, what if truckers in that region got together and did something like that? But I mean, DC is not going to sit there and I don't know. I genuinely don't know. So, but I think Kamala's sitting there talking about how you're going to complain about pollution. That's dumb. That's if anything, they're not polluting as much because they're not driving anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, this is the let's see, the People's Convoy to discuss the harmful effects of President Biden's vaccine mandates while the convoy circles the Beltway. So looks like everybody's pretty fed up with the COVID mandates.
Yeah, I mean, I support. Don't get me wrong. I support the right to protest. I'm just kind of trying to get a clear idea of what it is they're actually going in there to do. Because I mean, with Canada, it was clear what they were doing. So I kind of want to be a little bit more familiar with what their intentions are there. But I think Kamala Harris attacking the truckers over pollution is just the most outlandish bullshit they're trying to pull.
I know.
It's like, you're really gonna go after pollution, really? Like that's your counter to the convoy is pollution? Shut the fuck up.
It's like pollution card or racist.
Kamala Harris is a
they?
direct example of what happens when you get elected through affirmative action. You're an idiot. It's not because you're black. It's because you're an idiot. You got elected, or you got put in the position because you're black and you're a woman. You're clearly unqualified for this job. You are an idiot. You are a moron. Way to go. Biden also confirming his racist intent by on the campaign trail talking about putting a black woman in the SCOTUS. You know, it's so funny to me. All these other cultures, all these other minorities with their cultures in America, nobody cries harder than the black culture, black community. Nobody cries harder than them. The Chinese, nobody. Their culture is just like, in the Chinese culture, they are strict. They are strict. But the black community, Jesus. And I don't mean like all black. I'm talking about like mainly like leftist black people and white liberals. They kind of form their own little union of people. But these idiots out here decrying all this racism, all this oppression, all systematic racism within the system. Like, where? Where is it? This is just outlandish. It's ridiculous. Can't even go on Instagram. It's still all there, like the buy black, buy black. What about Chinese?
Japanese.
What about Japanese? What about Irish? What about this? What about Russian? Russian Americans, huh? They kind of need the help right now, right? I would think. But yeah, let's keep pandering to the minority that screams the loudest. That at the core of it are their own worst enemies. I'm sorry, but black culture in America speaks for itself. When you compare it to other cultures, I'm sorry, but the stats don't lie. The stats do not lie. And this is what happens when you enable this. When you enable this bullshit, it only gets worse. We need to put a black woman up there. Why does she have to be black and why does she have to be a woman? I'm not against putting a black woman up there. I really don't care. But if that is the deciding point for you, I would say that your pick'em is broken. Like, you are an idiot. Why not hire somebody based upon their merit? No, we can't do that.
No.
Can't do that. Otherwise, they'll call you racist. It's ridiculous.
That should be pretty clear to see, right?
Speaking of black racists, Joy Reid, world paying attention to Ukraine because it's a white Christian nation. This cunt is the most racist black piece of shit I have ever seen in my entire life. This woman is disgusting. This is a black supremacist on MSNBC. How she still has a job, I have no idea.
Zero.
I have no idea because MSNBC is like, we've got a woke black woman. Let's keep her on our side. This woman is tanking your network. MSNBC Joy Reid's made no secret. Wait, Ukraine. Wait, hold on. Ukraine is predominantly Christian?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I don't think that's true.
So what does that matter?
I haven't even read the article, but watch. She's going to, is it? Okay, so Ukraine is, but even still, she says we're only paying attention because they're white and Christian. I have not seen that brought up in one single debate issue. I've not seen that brought up in one news article at all. Nobody's brought that up.
It's.
I mean, there's women and children dying. I get that. And I'm not picking Ukraine. I'm not picking Russia. But I'm kind of like, what? Why is it always racist black people are the first ones to look for race? You're the first ones to look for race.
I mean, has she ever done a story on any of the atrocities that happen over in Africa?
Oh, hell no. Why isn't she paying attention to that?
I'm sure you could dig into it if you're a journalist. You can.
Oh, she's not going to do that.
Yeah,
MSNBC's Joy Reid made no secret Monday about what she thinks is driving the world to pay such close attention to the devastating war in Ukraine. The fact that it's a European nation made up largely of white people and Christians. The left-wing host's suggestion, first reported by Newsbusters, came during the closing segment of her show, The Readout, when she claimed that there was a radical disparity in how Western media has portrayed suffering Ukrainians as more human compared to their brown and black counterparts embroiled in other conflicts across the globe. Joy, that's your fault. You're a part of the very same press organization that doesn't cover those things over there. So you tell me why it gets no coverage. Why aren't you talking about the black murders that occur in this country? Why aren't you talking about that? You have the power. You're a network anchor. You tell me why you're not doing that. If you want to see it change, then be the change. It's not about that. You just want to cry. You want to cry about it. Because everything has to come. These black liberals, oh my fuck. Some of the most annoying people in the world because it's always about me, especially on Twitter.
I don't know.
Holy
I think
shit.
just liberals
Everything.
in general.
They're always victims. Liberals and black. That's what I'm saying, like the same side, like white liberals, black liberals. It's always about me. And white liberals are so self-hating. They always bring up the race issue.
Yeah.
It's like, even when it's a non-issue, it's like, fuck, like when it's an issue, I will take your side. It's like, yeah, I agree. That's racist as fuck.
Yeah, you could go all the way up to Chicago.
Jesus, Lori Lightfoot, yeah.
And talk about what's going on over there.
I don't know. Left-wing host suggests first radical disparity comes across the globe. As the world watches the devastation unfold in Ukraine nearly 4,000 miles away, another crisis is deepening that we don't hear much about in the U.S., and that is the war in Yemen. Reid began noting the plight of millions of Yemens forced to flee because of the conflict that began in 2015. She argued that Yemen hadn't witnessed the same solidarity as Ukraine, citing the lack of global companions and corporate taking a stand for the war-torn country and suggesting that Asia, Africa, and Middle East weren't as cared for as Europe. That's odd because I remember we brought a lot of Afghani refugees over. But dude, am I the only one that remembers that? I remember that. Also, here's the other thing. Joy, this is your administration. You're liberal.
Mm-hmm.
These are your people.
Yep.
You tell me. So maybe point the finger back. Point the finger back at your administration and the people that you voted for. You stood for them. You believed in them. Now we got them. So take accountability, Joy. Nah, she's a victim. She can't.
I wonder who her producer is.
Just an idiot. She also talked about mainly conservative white parents protesting school boards, parents. Yes, because there's more white people in America than any other minority. What are you talking about? And yes, I don't want you pushing your sexuality and bullshit on children. Yes, Joy, you're an idiot. Like, these people are so out of touch. These disgusting MSM propagandists and race-baiting elitists. Holy shit. Part of me is kind of like, if a civil war does happen, I can't wait to see some of these heads on pikes. I can't. Because the media is always the first one to get attacked, and justifiably so. Justifiably so. This is disgusting. Talking about people keeping us divided, it's this right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's this shit right here. The world's paying attention to Ukraine because it's hitting in the pocketbooks, excuse me. They're watching what's going on with EU and UN. The entire world is watching this. As for these other countries, you tell me, Joy, why isn't it getting the press? And here's where I stand on that one. Not my fucking pig, not my farm, don't give a fuck. Cover it more. Go ahead. I don't care. Not my war. So you can take your position. The media needs to cover more of this. Why? So we can paint pictures of fucking the Yemen flag on our hands and say, we stand with Yemen, and then virtue signal about how wonderful we are, and then yet really not really do shit about it. These people are so stupid. They're just so I'm so fed up with it. These guys are idiots. Just idiots. All right. The name of this article the name of this podcast is something I want to bring to light here. This isn't getting a lot of press, and I wonder why. For those in the chat or listening, have you ever heard of the Azov Battalion? This is real. This is not propaganda. This is real. Have you ever heard of the Azov Battalion? Because right now, everybody on the left and on the right, Fox is being a big pusher of this propaganda, is pro-Ukraine. Pro-Ukraine. Everything's Ukraine. Ukraine, Ukraine. Listen to this. What is Ukraine's Azov Battalion? There's various different sources on this. Ukraine. Inside the neo-Nazi Azov Battalion. A far-right neo-Nazi battalion has joined Ukrainian troops in their fight against invading Russian forces. Russian President Vladimir Putin's special military operations announcement continually referenced alleged Nazi elements in Ukraine, despite Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, a Jewish politician, beating out a non-Jewish candidate for the presidency by a huge margin. Okay. Naturally, you're going to have extremists in any country that are just disgusting. They're like, yeah, that's not part of us, but this is different. Because let me continue reading, because it gets very tricky. It gets slippery here. Putin cited the alleged genocide against the millions of people living in the Donbass region and slammed NATO states for supporting extreme nationalists and neo-Nazis in Ukraine, who, in turn, will never forgive the Crimeans and Sevastopol residents for choosing reunification with Russia. The Ukrainian National Guard, this is from a blue check on Twitter, says, the Ukrainian National Guard sharing explicitly racist propaganda from the Azov movement is deeply worrying. This is real. As others have said, Russia exaggerates the role of the far right in Ukraine, but Western media coverage mostly ignores it so to avoid copying Kremlin talking points. And she's right. Why isn't the press picking this up? You know why? Because you can't sit there and acknowledge the fact that Zelensky has Nazis, legit Nazis fighting on his side, and he's encouraging it. While talk of Nazism in Ukraine is completely out of place, one analysis told DW, footage emerged this week of Azov fighters greasing their bullets in pig fat, seemingly to be used against Muslim Chechens deployed as part of Russia's forces. These combatants who Putin was believed to be referencing in this phrase, demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine. The Azov Battalion is a far-right, all-volunteer infantry military unit that allegedly supports white supremacist ideologies and has also been involved in training civilians to fight against invading troops. They first fought alongside Ukrainian soldiers against pro-separatist troops in 2014 and have since been embedded in the military. Uh-oh. We can't talk about that because then your beloved Ukraine is going to get a black eye. Are people understanding now what's happening? This is a melting pot of fuckery. Get out of it. This is insanity. Don't go near it. This is bad news written all over. But why isn't the liberal press going after Zelensky saying, why are you allowing this? Well, I know why he's going to allow it. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I get that. But they've been there since 2014. There is even photographs of Zelensky with them. It doesn't make sense to me. I was like, yeah, he's a Jew, but being a Jew by birth does not mean that you're actually Jewish in religion. I get it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But they've been there since 2014. And embedded in the military. However, as per Al Jazeera, it only has 900 members, so it's still considered a fringe element in the army. It's still in the army. It's still in your military. Can you imagine the United States Army having 900 troopers in a battalion of neo-Nazis? We wouldn't stand for that.
They got upset because there weren't enough transgender people in the military.
We need more of those people in the military. Absolutely, yeah. What could go wrong there?
Yeah, everybody's got to have a chance. Come on.
Jesus. A fringe element in the army. It was founded 8 years ago by Andriy Beletsky from the ultranationalist Patriot of Ukraine gang and the neo-Nazi Social National Assembly Group. Both groups were accused of engaging in neo-Nazi ideals, and the latter is known to have attacked minority groups in Ukraine. Back in 2010, Beletsky said Ukraine's national purpose should be to lead the white races of the world in a final crusade against Semite-led Untermenschen, inferior races, before being elected 4 years later, forcing him to step down from the Azov Battalion as it doesn't permit elected officials. The fighting with the Russian army continues. This first commander of Azov Regiment, Andrew Bielski, stated that all Ukrainian territorial defensive structure, also known as Azov, that's being formed on the basis of veterans. Hashtag Stop Russia. There they are. I mean, this is real. It's here. You're seeing it. I'm showing it on the Twitch feed. However, the group fought against separatists in the now so-called People's Republic of Donetsk, and after managing to recapture Mariupol from the Russian-backed troops, the Azov Battalion was integrated into Ukraine's National Guard. Let me read that again. The Azov Battalion was integrated into Ukraine's National Guard. These are our best warriors, our best volunteers, former President Petro Poroshenko said. In 2016, the Azov Battalion was designated as a dangerous organization by Facebook, placed under the same designation as ISIS and the Ku Klux Klan. When Russia launched its invasion, this decision was reversed. Oh, my. Suddenly, let the Nazis fight. Now, here's the thing. If I was Zelensky, I'd do the same thing. Yes. To hold Ukraine as a free, I shouldn't say free, but to keep us free of Russia, every soldier gets a gun. Like, I get it. But everybody out there talking about how Ukraine is such a wonderful country, these people have been there for years upon years upon years. I'm not picking a side, but what I'm saying is do not get involved in this. You think Ukraine it's not what you think it is. It's not. Here they are holding up their Nazi swastika flag and, yeah. For the time being, we are making narrow exceptions for praise of the Azov Regiment strictly in the context of defending Ukraine or in their role as part of the Ukraine National Guard, a Meta spokesperson said. Holy shit. This is a Meta. This is Facebook. This is Facebook's statement. This is Facebook's statement. For the time being, we are making a narrow exception for praise of the dude. I cannot. The hypocrisy of this is just off the charts. Facebook is acknowledging that this is okay, being they're fighting for the defense of Ukraine, even though they're Nazis.
A little white supremacy is okay.
It's okay, just a little. It's not that bad.
Wait, are we sure this isn't propaganda?
Positive. No, because I dug into this one. Yeah. It's real. Because I'd seen pictures circulating. I'm like, wait, what? And so I actually started looking into the Azov Battalion. It's like, it is real. It is 100% real.
Not like really Russians posing as Ukrainians.
No, they're legit Ukrainians.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I mean,
it's nuts.
It just seems, I don't know, so in your face, right?
The press. The biggest question is why isn't the press reporting this?
You
know why? Because it's going to make Zelensky look bad.
Yeah,
it's going to make people say, "Oh, whoa." It's going to basically waver American support of the president, saying, "I'm not going to support a country who, in their National Guard, has neo-Nazis."
Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, what could go wrong on this, right?
Is that it's not exactly like the Nazi flag.
Mm-hmm. Just go look it up. It's ASOV Battalion. It's everywhere. You can find it. There's so much there. You can't make this up. You cannot. Oh, excuse me. You cannot make this up. That's what I'm saying. This is a clusterfuck. We do not need to get involved in this. Do not need to get involved in this. All right, finally, last but most certainly not least, Ukraine's President Zelensky defiantly provides his location in Kyiv, saying, "I'm not afraid of anyone." This is from Fox News. This is more propaganda. Look at Fox. Fox is pushing for an intervention. Fox wants us to go to war.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It is there. It's just, I sincerely hope people are starting to wake up and see how the media is manipulating this, both sides. Fox is pushing propaganda. CNN is pushing propaganda. They're pushing these opinion-based, emotionally charged articles to get you to say, yes, we do need to commit troops. Yes, commit more money. Yes. Get more unwavering support of politicians wanting to get involved in this. No. 100% no.
Mm-hmm.
Ukrainian President Zelensky vowed not to leave Ukraine's capital of Kyiv, going so far as to reveal that he is in his office as Russian forces continue their assault on the city. On Bankova Street, Zelensky said in Monday's social media post, "Not hiding, and I'm not afraid of anyone. Bankova Street is where the presidential offices are located." The Ukrainian leader defiantly pointed his camera out the window, showing that it was nighttime in Kiev, and then made remarks from his office. Zelensky also warned that other NATO members could be next if Russia succeeds in Ukraine, saying that Russia will want more and more. I don't think so. I actually disagree. I don't think they will. I think they want Ukraine back because essentially they try to position Ukraine as a buffer zone.
I don't know. I could see Russia keep taking a little bit more.
No,
and a little
I don't
bit
think
more.
so.
You don't think so?
No, if they go after Poland, Poland's NATO, that's World War III. That's a NATO ally. It will be an actual military intervention, which I would actually support. It's like I agree with that. You know, you do have to back your allies there. I understand that. But if Putin continues to invade, it's like, okay, this has gone beyond the realm of like Ukrainian buffer zone. I get it. It makes sense to me. It's not that I support or don't. It's just like I understand why he's doing it. We will come first. You will come second, he told ABC News Monday. Because the more this beast will eat, he wants more and more. Zelensky vowed that he would be staying in Kiev despite the Russian invasion of the city, despite already surviving 3 attempts on his life since the start of the war. I'm here, Zelensky said. Noble, I get it. I mean, I got to respect the dude for that. I'll give him that at least. Do you think our president would do that? Fuck no.
He wouldn't even know what's going on.
He'd probably be in Delaware.
I smell somebody's hair.
It smells good. These kids are so lemony fresh.
I love the smell of hair in the morning.
It's nuts. All right. This is insanity to me. But all right, that concludes today's show, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around for after the stream. We're going to go back live on Twitch, and we're giving away 2 tankers today. That's right. I forgot to give one away yesterday, but we're giving away 2 tankers today. But you have to be a subscriber on Twitch. We can't thank you enough for those that subscribe on Twitch. It's $4.99 a month. You get the content for free regardless, but those that actually subscribe, you can potentially win a tankard. And we're grateful for all your bits, your donations, your subscriptions. You guys are incredible. We cannot thank you enough for being here and supporting the stream, the podcast. Share the podcast. Leave us a review on iTunes. It helps boost our numbers. We cannot thank you guys enough for all your love and support. Again, without it, we would not be here. We are actually in the process of building out a new studio in the back of our shop. It's going to look better, sound better. It's going to be great. I'll probably give up this office. I'll go move back there in my little hole. But until then, don't go anywhere, Twitch. It's The John Burke on Twitch. If you have the app, download the Twitch app. It is free. And then come follow me at The John Burke. That's also free. And you can be a part of our Twitch community of the Lost Savages. We appreciate you. We love you. Got anything to add, my man?
Love you guys.
As always, you stay savage, America.